Good afternoon, everyone. How are you all doing today? Could it be that spring might be here? We have a beautiful day here in northeast central Pennsylvania. And I've been outside. I've seen the neighbor's turkey strutting around. He's so cute. He's beautiful too. Back to the lap book junk journal combination. This is part 3. And today I have for you my pages for the signatures, 3 signatures. And I can show you how, what I came up with, how many pages I have, and we'll get to that. And then I'm also going to show you my template for my, not my cover actually, because this will be covered, but this is like my base template. And anyhow, let's get to it. I have 3 signatures. I have 12 pages in each. I was looking for signatures that would fit like a 2.5-inch spine once they're filled. Right now, it's obvious that it's not going to be 2.5 inches, but once I fill them, they will be. So 12 pages, 3 signatures, it about amounts to that. Inside the signatures, let's start with this one. We have the dyed paper from the beetroot. I have a piece of piano paper that I have backed with fabric for here. And for that one, we're going to have like a pocket here on this side, and then a pocket up here. So that'll be that page. I put a piece of graph paper in it, and the architectural paper, some of the cleanup paper that was on my desk, a piece of ledger paper, more beet dyed. This is the flap of an envelope. There's the rest of it right there. More beet dyed. A piece of, it's not vellum paper. It would be more like a baking paper, but what it is settlement administrative paper from Washington. A piece of sheet piano music here, and more beet paper. And I chose this one for the center because I really like the design in that. And then, of course, as you go back through, same thing. So that's one. Beet paper, a bag, more beet paper, a page out of a floral book. How pretty is that, right? Graph paper again, ledger paper, beet paper, craft paper, more ledger paper, more of that government paper, cleanup paper from the desk, beet paper, and I liked this one for the center also because of that fern. It's such a nice print. And then the last signature is the beet paper. Can you tell which one's my favorite? It's this beet paper. Ledger paper. Right now, I have a piece of Calico Cottage's printable. I think I'm going to leave it there. And I printed one side of it on the beet paper. Sheet music, more beet paper, more of the government paper, vellum, beet paper, a vellum envelope, graph paper, cleanup paper, and beet paper. And this one has a really nice butterfly image on it. So I am really happy and pleased and excited about the beet paper and how that is going to match the cover that I have stained. So those are my 3 signatures as they stand. I cut them down to, let me just measure here real quick for you. They are, I used like a piece of copy paper, which is 8.5 by 11, so it'd be 5.5 here, as my template for my pages. Now they're not any taller than the 8.5, but some of them are wider than what the 11 was, and I don't mind if they stick out. When I made my base for my lap book and journal, I compensated for that. So that's what we have for the papers. Now on to the template for the base for our journal in our lap book. Before, when I made a lap book, I followed Rosa Kelly, and she is on YouTube. You can find her there. She does awesome lap books, and I followed her step by step, used all her measurements and everything. But I was incorporating a journal in it, and I wanted it to be a journal of my size. So I challenged myself to come up with my own measurements and my own design. And I think I have it, but I won't know for sure until I start putting everything together. So I started out, actually what I started out was with a sample one from file folders. And this one is where I kind of marked it all up and measured and remeasured and changed this and that. And I'll keep this for put with my directions, even though the measurements aren't all exact as what my directions are. But I'll get the idea so that next time, if I want to make another one of these, I will have one to go by to look at, and then with my measurements with it and my directions, then I'll know just what I'm doing instead of having to measure everything all over again. So and then I've taken that and I've made a nice neat one that I'm going to use for my journal. So what is going to be is, and I have all these measurements wrote down. If I can figure out how to do a PDF file and share this with you, I will share it below in the comments or in the directions or whatever. I'll work on that. Right now, I just have them on a piece of paper, and if I don't get them on there, then I'll figure out some way that I can get these to you should you want the directions. So I started out with, it takes 9 pieces of 12 by 12 cardstock to get to this point. I have lots of little pieces that I will be incorporating throughout the journal when I start putting it together. So I cut 3 that were 9 by 12, and those 3 made this long base section here. It puts everything together. So it takes 3 to get the long base. And then if I start on the right side, which is going to be the journal side, and it'll be the back side of the lap book, I have my 2.5-inch spine here that the journal will actually sit in. Now I am not, I don't think, going to attach, I don't think I'm going to stitch my journal to the spine. I have decided on this, and so I made it just a hair bigger, that what I want is my journal to come in and out. And so I'm going to make a pocket here that I can set my journal down in. But still, I'll need this 2.5-inch space so that when I go to close it up, there's enough room. So this is what this will look like. It'll be and you can, if you want, to just stitch your journal right into that spine there and have it be attached. Okay, so you're pretty much just making a book cover at this point. And then I've made a flap that is going to back fold on itself, and on that I'm going to attach a piece that is 1/4 inch thick to the top here, so I'll have a flip up here. Not sure what I'm putting in there yet, but I'll have a flip up, so there'll be that space there. Then as you move forward, you're going to need another 2.5-inch area. Well, actually it has to be more than 2.5 because I'm adding to the top on this side. So what I needed was a, I have the measurements here somewhere, 3.5. So I had to go 3.5 here, which is where our 2.5 plus our inch that I'm adding on top, so that it'll come up and cover this. And then we have this. Again, it's kind of like you're just making a cover, but I want to take it back on itself again. So I scored, and I'm making a 1-inch gusset here so that I can put some more goodies on top of this. And those are going to be, here's the center part. On the center part, I'm going to have this that has a 1/4 inch spine here that I'll glue in. And then it has these fold outs here. It goes this way and goes this way. On the inside here, I'm going to make, at this point I think, but I could change my mind, I'm going to make a door here and a door here. So then you'll have this whole center section here. And then on the cover, the front cover, we have another 1/4 inch spine, and it's going to flip open like this. So, and I'm not sure, but on the front cover here, once this is all closed up, I think I'll probably put something different, maybe not, or maybe I'll just put something different here. Probably just do something different here, and then here is going to be covered with that fabric that we had dyed. So this might all be really confusing if you hadn't done a lap book before, but stay with me and we will guide you step by step. You'll see how it's all going to be done, and you can play along with me at that point. I'll have measurements for you. I can give you a list ahead of time so you can have supplies ready, and then we'll work on this project together. So stay tuned. We'll see you again soon. Have a great day.